Happening right now, President Donald Trump needs money to realize his plans and his promises. We know this. Congress writes the check. So that is why he is right now with Republican lawmakers hammering out that much talked about congressional budget. And the top of his list, boosting border security. And by the way, there's a ticking clock to talk about here before a government shutdown. Keep in mind, March 14th is the government funding deadline. So let's go live to CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand at the White House. Natalie, that March deadline really means it's go time for Team Trump.
Yeah, that's right, Reed, and that's why he's huddling behind closed doors with Republican lawmakers as they try to hash out the way forward. We know, that they've been trying to discuss and debate the size, scope, details of legislation that will include the president's priorities when it comes to government spending, taxes, and of course, border security. And as you know, Reed, there's been a lot of talk on Capitol Hill whether to move forward with one big bill, which the president initially suggested that would be his preference. But since then, he's not been as vocal as Republican leaders try to hash out the way forward, some signaling that breaking it into two bills might be more beneficial. But interesting to note, Reed, that on border security and immigration, you may have had some support from, say, moderate Democrats who maybe would cross party lines. But given the activities over the past week, all of the, efforts by the Trump administration and Elon Musk to try and shrink government, the USAID activities and this buyout offer, this has alienated a lot of those Democrats.
Well, and of course, we're seeing that these executive orders have had a trend now of spurring some conversations in courtrooms. Walk us through what the Trump administration is looking at by way of court challenges on this day.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, the birthright citizenship executive order, that is in a Seattle courtroom this hour, as well as a challenge filed by unions representing employees of the federal government who are pushing back against this buyout offer presented by Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE. That deadline is coming up at midnight tonight for federal workers to decide if they want to take it or not. So we'll have to wait and see whether a Boston judge rules potentially on whether to block it as early as this afternoon.
Well, and the big question is, what happens to those federal workers who just say, no way, I'm not going to take the buyout? What are they facing? What's the reality?
Yeah, well, I spoke to one of the unions that represents around 800,000 federal employees in this region, and she said that she's telling her members to look really long and hard at this proposal, consult a personal attorney. They have a lot of questions about this. They're worried about whether or not the administration will hold up its end of the bargain, saying that they will, pay these employees through the end of September. Take a listen to some of her concerns.
There's no question that there will be legal challenges, in part because there's a question about the authority of Musk and President Trump to make the offer they made. And then there's questions about whether or not they'll ultimately be fulfilling the promises that are in the offer.
That was Jackie Simon of the American Federation of Government Employees. So again, 2 million government employees weighing this offer. CBS News has learned that at least or more than 40,000 have accepted so far.
All right, Natalie Brand reporting live from a very chilly White House lawn. You stay warm. Go warm up your hands, my friend. Thank you so much for streaming with us today.